Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarLead TV, part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. Today, as you can see, I have yet another brand new team here, and I'm just going to jump right into it. This is a really fun team. It's featuring Smeargle. That's kind of the main Pokemon that I'm using here. I know that's the last Pokemon listed, but we'll talk about Smeargle first. If you've heard me talk before, you've probably heard me say that Smeargle is pretty much my favorite Pokemon. I've just always had such a soft spot for it since Gen 2. I think it's really cool, it's cute, it's just such a fun Pokemon, I love it. And the goal with this team is to set up Baton Pass with Smeargle and then Baton Pass those boosts to something else. That's kind of the goal that we're working with here. And this is a team I made kind of towards the beginning of the season, so it's a little outdated. There are changes I'm kind of already identifying that I might make, but you know, this is where we're at right now for the team. And I tested it a little bit and it's been doing pretty decently, so I've been having fun with it. We also have Moody. Now, if you saw, I made a video showcasing this Baton Pass Smeargle set. So if you want to see me talk more about it, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I have a video featuring it in more detail. And we have the Moody ability, which will randomly boost one of our stats by 2 stages at the end of the turn, and also randomly lower one of our stats by 1 stage. So in addition to No Retreat, Moody will further boost our stats. We also have Spore, of course, to put opponents to sleep, to make it easier to set up our boosts and pass them. No Retreat, I haven't really mentioned it yet, but it's actually a really rare move. It's a signature move of Phalanx, so Phalanx is the only Pokemon that gets it. So this is the first time that No Retreat and Baton Pass have been legal together. And No Retreat, what it does is it boosts every single one of your stats by 1 stage. However, it makes it so that you cannot retreat. Hence the name No Retreat. So the funny thing is, you know, when I use No Retreat with Smeargle, I can no longer switch out. However, I can Baton Pass to something else. So I'll Baton Pass all those boosts to something else. However, I will also Baton Pass that restriction of not being able to switch out. So if I set up No Retreat and I Baton Pass into Latios, Latios will actually no longer be able to switch out. So this team is kind of all in, really, and that's something I'm a little worried about. So we're going to kind of see how that goes. Now, as for the Pokemon that I'm trying to Baton Pass to, the main ones are Latios, Annihilape, and Terrakion. Latios and Annihilape are just good Pokemon by themselves, so I like having these Pokemon that are just really good even if I don't Baton Pass to them. Like, if I don't end up going the Baton Pass route, they're still Pokemon that can hold their own in battles. Annihilape's another good one that's good by itself. However, this Annihilape set is a little different than I've normally run. It's running max attack with an adamant nature. I think I'm running just enough speed to outspeed probably like the usual suspects like Fluttermane, Chien-Pao after 1 speed boost from No Retreat, and then the rest of it is just 3 attacks with Taunt because I thought that could be helpful. Terrifier's pretty decent there, so we'll see how that goes. The other 2 Pokemon in the middle there, Excadrill and Skarmory, they are decent targets for No Retreat Baton Pass, but they're not my main choices. Excadrill is honestly here to try to take on Pokemon that might give Smeargle trouble, so any Pokemon that would be good against Smeargle or try to shut it down early, I thought maybe leading with Excadrill, maybe getting up some Stealth Rocks can help. And then Skarmory's just there as a good pivot, you know, it's just a really good defensive Pokemon, so I thought that it would be good to try that out as well. So that is the team. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. You know, there's the team code, of course, if you want to try it out for yourself. And let's do a couple games here and see how it does. All right, let's start with game number 1 here. The first question, of course, that I like to ask is, should I lead with Smeargle? And that doesn't seem like a terrible idea. I guess if they are savvy to what I'm trying to do, they could possibly lead with the Water or Shifu, which could have Surging Strikes and destroy my Focus Sash and basically kill me. So if they're thinking of that, that's something I need to be worried about. But everything else, I can presumably survive a hit and put them to sleep with Spore and then, you know, start setting up and Baton Pass. However, at the same time, their team is really fast and just really powerful, so it's kind of scary. I guess I'll lead Smeargle. I'll bring Skarmory because they have so many physical attackers. Skarmory seems pretty solid here. And then I think it will just be Latios in the back. I think that makes sense. And then if they lead with like one of their scary physical attackers, I can just switch right into Skarmory if I really have to. And then maybe try to set up the baton passes later to Latios. By the way, my Latios was named Blue. I think that's a Latios from like a long time ago, like maybe like when I was playing Ruby version or something when I was a kid, or maybe even like after that, but it's transferred up all the way from a previous generation, so that's why. Okay, so they actually make another, I'm assuming, smart play, and they lead with Ogerpon to eat the Spore. Now, the funny thing here is Ogerpon's actually like maybe the best thing they could have led with, because it cannot be spored, and my plan of like going into Skarmory if they lead with something that's good against Smeargle is bad too, because they are super effective against Skarmory. So I don't know if my opponent was thinking that far ahead, but if they were, then kudos to them. But I get off the no retreat. I'm actually faster than them, which is really interesting. And then they get off the cudgel, and it does take me right down to my focus sash. Let's see what this Moody boost gives. Now, here's the funny thing. If Moody lowers my speed... Okay, good. That scared me. I was going to say if Moody lowers my speed, I am pretty much dead. So, yeah, that's why Moody is very volatile. It's very, like, all over the place. But now I'm just going to baton pass right away to Latios here. Actually, they could have quick attack. This could be bad. If they don't have quick attack, then we are going to be in a really good position here. Unless they, like, predict this. Okay, they don't. Oh, that's great. If they predict this and they go for, like, knockoff or play rough, that could be really bad. However, my Latios is about to have +3 defense. So even if they go for that, I think I'm still okay. And, of course, Latios resists Ogerpon's stab move, so that's going to be really nice as well. And yeah, we eat that really, really nicely. And now we're just gonna start firing off attacks. I mean, that's kind of what we're meant to do with this set. We have +3 defense and then +1 in everything else. I think we're at neutral attack, so, there we go. Okay, so they do have play rough, but they do miss. That's really unfortunate. I should have lived that, because once again, I'm at +3 defense, right? So, and I went for Ice Beam here, so they might switch into something that maybe takes an Ice Beam, hopefully. But yeah, either way, this is going... Oh, yes. Wow. Okay, honestly, I wasn't even thinking of Roaring Moon. I just went for Ice Beam there, I don't know, just on the chance that they do happen to switch, and because I knew that it would knock out their Ogerpon anyway. But I make what... From my opponent's perspective, that probably looks like an insane prediction. I get a critical hit. I don't think it mattered. Again, I'm at +1 special attack, and Latios has a really high special attack stat. But even if they had somehow miraculously survived that, I'm still faster than them, so I would have been able to fire off yet another Ice Beam. They go into Ursaluna now. Once again, I have +1 in everything except attack, and +3 in defense, of course. I do have +1 in special defense, so... I think I'm just going to go for Luster Purge here to lower their special defense. I think this is a decent play for me. Yeah, because they're terrestrializing. Typically, Ursaluna is Terra Normal. So by terrestrializing here, they would no longer be weak to Ice Beam. So Luster Purge is just my best move to go for. I don't think there's ever a chance that they would go Terra Dark. I don't think there's ever a reason to do that for Ursaluna. Excuse me. So yeah, they are probably Assault Vest because they take that well. I'm thinking I should take this. If I survive this, wow, yeah, that does massive damage, but we should be good because I have Citrus Berry. And it's possible they have Vacuum Wave as a priority move, but of course, Vacuum Wave is a fighting type move, and I am a psychic type, so I would resist that regardless. So this is looking like my game, and it does look like we got to pull off the Latios sweep with the Baton Pass, with the no retreat Baton Pass from Smeargle, which of course is the main game plan of the team. Something I'm realizing more and more is it's really looking like Latios is kind of like the main target for the Baton Passes, because that's kind of the Pokemon I bring most of all when I'm trying to Baton Pass with Smeargle. But either way, like I said, we should be winning this game. Yeah, even if they have Quick Attack, which I don't think they do because they would have gone for it against Smeargle, I should survive it because I'm at +3 defense, so perfect. We end up winning the first game, getting to show off the awesome Smeargle, no retreat, baton pass set, and just kind of playing to the outs a little, just kind of thinking of what the opponent's doing and trying to play against them, you know, because that's what you kind of have to do with this set. It's very all in, like I said. You know, it feels like, you know, you lead with Smeargle and your goal, if you're leading with Smeargle, your goal is to set up no retreat and baton pass to something else. And whether you spore the opponent or protect or, you know, even switch into something else before setting up with Smeargle, it kind of depends. So it's a tricky team to play, I would say. It's not as brainless, because if I just lead Smeargle every single game and click spore right away and click no retreat, like that sounds easy, but again, sometimes opponents are smart to that, and sometimes they have things that can counter it. So you just got to be aware of what the opponent could have that could stop you from doing that. So that was game 1. Let's go to game 2. All right, game number 2. My opponent has Ogerpon again. They also have Urshifu again. And those are once again, those are two very scary threats against my potential setup. Because I cannot spore Ogerpon, and because Urshifu can one-hit KO Smeargle with Surging Strike. I mean, it could be the Dark Urshifu, that's possible. But either way. And they also have Goldango, which is immune to Spore. And Goldango could trick me. This might be a game where I actually don't even bring Smeargle, just because it looks like they have so many things that can stop my sweep. This might sound weird, but do I ever lead with Annihilape? It could be bad. Skarmory looks pretty solid here, but also not too sure about that. Okay, I'm going to go with these Pokemon and just see what happens. We're not going to go for the Baton Pass setup this game. It just looks like they have too many things that are good against it. I mean, it's pretty likely they lead with Hippowdon, and excuse me, Smeargle is okay against Hippowdon. At least I can put them to sleep right away with Spore and then maybe set up the no retreat in the following turn. But with Sand, that will break my Focus Sash, so if they ever wake up and they click Earthquake, it's possible they could just kill me. So they do lead with Hippowdon. I'm able to lead with Annihilape, which I think is an okay lead here. That's one of the main reasons I led with Annihilape, because it is okay against Hippowdon. I can definitely taunt them right away to stop them from going for Stealth Rock. Typically, Hippowdon runs like Stealth Rock, Yawn, and like Whirlwind, so it has many moves that are affected by Taunt, and then it typically, of course, has Earthquake, so they're going to be forced to effectively Earthquake me here, which will boost the power of my Rage Fist, although I'm not going to be doing that much damage to them. I still think I'm just going to go for it. They do switch, though, so they're probably going to predict this Rage Fist. Maybe they'll predict a Bulk Up, but we'll see what they go into. They go into Ogerpon, which I'm perfectly happy with because, of course, they're going to take decent damage from the Rage Fist. And then I am Terra Fire, so I could go ahead and Terrasilize right away here. I wonder if that's an option. The reason I would do that is because Fire resists Ogerpon really, really nicely. Let's take a look at their team. Excuse me. Okay. I could see myself possibly regretting this later, but like Goldango could be really scary. I guess I won't Terra right away here. I'll Rage Fist. I'm assuming they're gonna hit me. They could go for Spiky Shield. They just go Cudgel, that's fine. I would have resisted that, but you know, well yeah, they are faster than me, okay. All right, well that means I'm not gonna ever Terrasilize my Annihilape in this game. Wow, are you serious? The first, I mean, I know Rage Fist obviously gets boosted in power. I guess it does double after that first one. It's just that the first Rage Fist really didn't do that much damage, so I thought even with the double damage, it probably wouldn't kill them, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take a knockout there. They go back into Hippowdon. Now this is a little bit of a mind game because they might expect me to taunt and they might finish me off with the Earthquake, or they might predict me to think that way and then they might just go for the Stealth Rock. I'm just gonna favor not getting up their Stealth Rock. I mean, honestly, I guess had they gotten up their Stealth Rock, it's not the worst thing in the world. So maybe I shouldn't have really done that. Maybe I shouldn't have really cared, but they are taunted now, so they can't Stealth Rock, they can't Whirlwind, they can't Yawn. If Earthquake is in fact their only damaging move, then Latios is an excellent switch here. because of course they're gonna have to switch out, so because they can't hit me with Earthquake. So I'm just gonna fire off the Luster Purge. I guess Ice Beam makes a lot of sense, but Luster Purge is also very good. If they do stay in and go for something else, Luster Purge will get off hopefully decent damage and lower or very likely lower their special defense, and then that means the follow-up Ice Beam can knock them out. And if they switch here, then Luster Purge is just going to hit whatever comes in. And I'm not really afraid of anything that could come in, even my opponent's own Latios. So Luster Purge has a 50% chance of lowering their special defense. If I get it, oh, it's a crit, yikes. I do not get it. So I got the crit, but I did not get the defense or the special defense drop. That is fine by me. Let's go ahead and Terrastalize here, because that'll let us survive any hit from them. Because Latios has naturally great special defense, so even if they go for a strong neutral move like Luster Purge, we are likely to take it. And they might go Terra Steel. I think Terra Steel is the most common Terra type on Latios. Yeah, they are Terrastalizing. I have actually built a couple of newer teams with Terra Steel Latios, and it's very good. So that might be my go-to. Yeah, it is Terra Steel. That might be my go-to Latios build in the future. So let's see what they go for. Hopefully they go for Terra Blast. Okay, I go Ice Beam. Obviously this is not going to do any damage. They go Draco Meteor, so I do take this. No, I don't take it. Wait, are they Choice Specs? Oh no. Oh no, they must be Choice Specs, and then we're possibly going to lose this fight. Well, what do we do here? This is actually... Oh, this is actually really rough. Huh. Do we think they're Choice... I think I lose. Let's see. If they're Choice Specs, they're probably going to switch. And then the funny thing is, if they switch into Hippowdon, then we get the Sand, which means that we boost our special defense. I still think a Terra Blast will kill me, especially if they're Choice Specs. I feel like they're going to switch here. This might look really stupid. Oh, I mean, here's... They stay in. Oh my god. No way. This is so stupid of me. I just figured they were Choice... Oh, this was so stupid. I just figured they were Choice Specs. So I was like, they're gonna switch into Hippowdon. Do I live this, or did I just lose myself the game? I mean... I probably lost anyway. I forgot how much their HP their Hippowdon was at, because even if I had gone, that was really kind of embarrassing if I'm being honest. So I really completely over predicted that turn. I overthought it extremely hard. My thought was, I mean, I could go for close combat, but if they go into Hippowdon, then, you know, maybe I kill it. But the thing is, I would lower my special defense, and then they could just go right back into Latios, and Latios would be faster than Terrakion, and then they would just knock me out with Terra Steel, or at that point they would just knock me out with literally any move, so I would lose that way. So my thought with going for Earthquake was that they were probably going to switch out into Hippowdon, expecting me to go for the fighting type move, and then I would go for the Earthquake against Hippowdon. I would not get my special defense lowered, then I could knock out their Hippowdon the following turn presumably, and with the Sand up from Hippowdon, I would be at +1 special defense. And then when they go back into Latios, I have a chance of surviving a move from them because I'm at +1 special defense thanks to the Sand. And it's possible I wouldn't even survive because Terra Blast, I mean, their Choice Specs, like Latios is really good. So that was embarrassing. That must have looked really stupid from my opponent's perspective. They must have thought that was really stupid of me, but that's another case, because I think that happened in another recent video where I just completely over-predicted, and if I had just made this the most simple play, I could have won. But once again, you know, I take them down, if I had gone for close combat, I in fact would have killed them, and then they would go back into Hippowdon, and if I'm being honest, I forgot how much HP Hippowdon was at. If it was at full health, I think I lose because they're going to take no damage from my moves because Hippowdon has great physical defense, and then they just knock me out with Earthquake. So I think there was a good chance I was losing that battle anyway. You know, it was possible I could win. It ends up being the case that had I gone for the close combat against Latios, there was a chance I could have won. But even if I did go for close combat, it's still possible I lost. So a lot of ways in which I lose there. You know, I had reasoning for going for Earthquake in the face of the Latios. I thought it was pretty obvious they were Choice Specs, and so you know, I thought that they would switch there, but obviously that was really embarrassing. But either way, it's okay. It was still a fun game, you know. I thought for a second that I had it, and then, yeah. And like I said, I built this team pretty early on, which is why I have this Terra Fire Latios. But recently I've been playing with Terra Steel Latios, and it's awesome. I really do love it. So I'm going to definitely feature a couple teams with Terra Steel Latios. And Latios is just a great Pokemon right now. I'm really happy because I don't think it was that fantastic in Sword and Shield, and just seeing it be this good in Scarlet and Violet, it makes me really happy because it's an awesome Pokemon. Anyways, let's go to game 3. Wow, my opponent has Hydrapple and Incineroar, and Heatran for that matter, but Hydrapple and Incineroar are two Pokemon that are not really commonly used, obviously. I think his Incineroar is actually in the top like 20 or like top 25 most used Pokemon, so it's actually kind of creeping up. And I definitely want to build a team around it as well. I mean, there's just so many Pokemon I want to build around. Incineroar is awesome. It's like one of the best, if not the best Pokemon in doubles, but in singles it's not quite as good, though I think it's still strong. Either way, this actually looks like an okay game for Latios. Well, I guess the big question, as always, is how does Smeargle look? And I do think Smeargle looks decent here, just mainly because they don't really have either multi-hit moves or to break my Focus Sash, or they don't have like taunt or stuff like that. So Smeargle looks like it could very well, you know, put something to sleep and then baton pass. So since this is the last battle, let's just go for it. And I do think Latios has a decent shot against most everything my opponent has. And then finally, Primarina is one Pokemon that I'm kind of afraid of there. I don't have Defiant. If I had Defiant on this, then Incineroar would be less of a problem. Could be Skarmory. I'm gonna try Skarmory. Skarmory's great against Roaring Moon. It doesn't care about the Intimidate from Incineroar. I mean, my opponent does have a couple of fire types, so that's also kind of scary, but ooh, I love that trainer card. That's cute. I wonder how they got their Psyducks to pose like that. That's funny. All right, they are going to lead with Skarmory. Interesting. I think if they're max speed, we actually speed tie, so that could be a problem. I'm gonna Spore though. Okay, I am faster. I should have been faster, like I suspected that I would be. And then we're gonna get a Moody Boost. This is scary though, because if this Skarmory wakes up at any point soon, they could really mess up our plan. Get a defense boost. Honestly, Skarmory could have Whirlwind. So it's possible I actually just switch now? Is that weird? I'm gonna switch now. Because then we keep our Smeargle alive for later. I mean, here's the problem with switching now is that if their Skarmory does wake up... what do I go into? If their Skarmory does wake up, they can set up Stealth Rock, so when Smeargle goes back in later, it'll lose its Focus Sash, so if they have faster Pokemon, of course they can just kill me easily. I'm just gonna go into Latios. I thought about going into my own Skarmory because I basically get a free like Iron Defense boost, and then I can start going for Body Press, but I think I like going into Latios here, and they're still asleep. That's perfect. I like going into Latios here because, you know, Latios with +2 defense is still really good. So let's go for Ice Beam here just in case they switch. It just feels like, you know, they have a lot of Pokemon that could come in on that Thunderbolt. So this guarantees a kill either way. And if they happen to Terrasilize into something weird, you know, I think Ice Beam covers that really well. So yeah, Latios is an all-star here. And I like showing this off too, because had I just kind of gone for that brainless plan of just, you know, turn 1 Spore, turn 2 No Retreat, and then turn 3 Baton Pass, it's extremely likely by the time I Baton Pass, the Skarmory wakes up. And then if it wakes up, then, you know, they get to survive a hit because they have Sturdy, and then they probably go Whirlwind, like I said, and they just reset everything. So at least in this case, and once again they go into Roaring Moon. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, this is becoming a pattern here, right? This is a good sign for us. And my opponents, every time this happens, my opponents are probably like, what the heck is going on, right? I am at +2 defense, and my opponent is at +1 attack. Roaring Moon has a massive attack stat. I'm gonna click Ice Beam again. I think the most common Terra type on Roaring Moon is Flying. but there's a chance they don't have Terra Flying. So if they Terrasilize, they switch. Wow, okay, they get my Terra here. But we put their Roaring Moon at below half health, and we eat their booster energy. So I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Oh, this is actually really rough. Yikes. Okay, okay. Because we went Terra Fire, so my opponent baited out our Terra, and then they get to go into their water type. So that's great for them. Kudos for my opponent. And we went for the Ice Beam, which they're gonna eat. They don't take that quite as well as I thought they would. I mean, obviously they take that extremely well, but now I'm just gonna click Thunderbolt. You know, pretty obvious play, but why not? Do some good damage there. I don't care if they knock me out here. I was thinking about whether I should switch or not, and I actually like this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and just, if my Latios dies, that is just fine with me. Okay, so they Encore here, which honestly, I'm okay with. Because yeah, I think they could go into Roaring Moon. Yeah, they're going into Roaring Moon now, and obviously they're going to resist this, and they can start setting up Dragon Dances, but I have Skarmory in the back end. Skarmory is just amazing against Roaring Moon. I guess they could have like Knockoff, right? And that could do decent damage to Skarmory. Or I could, if I predict a Dragon Dance here, I could actually just go into Smeargle. I guess they could also have Scale Shot, so there's just so many things they could have that could stop all of my Pokemon, but I'm going to go into Smeargle, and I'm just going to get ready to click Spore. They do go Dragon Dance. If they don't have Scale Shot, then I get to put them to sleep here, although I do think Scale Shot's pretty common on Salamence. Oh, and I still get the Moody Boost, and I get a defense boost. That's awesome. Although, if they have Scale Shot, they're probably just going to kill me, but it's possible they don't. We know they have booster energy, so they do not have the loaded dice. They switch. Okay, so we eat their Dragon Dance. They're probably going to go back into Skarmory. Okay, they do. And I think what I'm going to do here, let's see. My speed gets boosted. I'm happy with that. Special defense drops. I don't care because Primarina, like, is their only special attacker, and I think I've already got it in a good spot. So I'm going to protect here just in case they wake up, like kind of hoping they wake up. Just so that, like, because if I Baton Pass, they could like wake up in Whirlwind or something like that. So by doing this, yeah. Oh, what? They Whirlwind through Protect? I didn't know that happened. Okay. Well, that's awkward. It's fine though. You know, hopefully I go into Latios here. If I go into Latios, I think I just kind of win. Okay, I go into my own Skarmory. I'll take that. A Body Press should kill them, because they're just so low on health. I guess it could be a speed. Oh, wait, but then they lose their flying type, so Body Press is super effective. Man, this is a crazy battle. Yeah, okay, so we still do a lot of damage to them. Oh, their Rocky Helmet. All right, I'm going to start setting up Iron Defense. Even if they have Whirlwind, if they just Whirlwind me into Latios, that's fine. Like, I'm happy about that. Or if they Whirlwind me into Smeargle, then I can just Spore them. So I'm okay just kind of like baiting out this Whirlwind, which they're gonna have to go for at some point. They cannot let my Skarmory sit with like plus 20, you know, defense. A worst case scenario is if they themselves have Iron Defense and Body Press. Okay, they have Stealth Rock, which I'm okay with. So this is probably the turn that they're going to Whirlwind. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the Body Press now. The Stealth Rock, I will admit, is really rough here, but I think I'm still in a pretty good position. Oh, they Rock Tomb. Wow, okay. Looks like we are speed tying though, because I went before them in that turn. Okay, they go Rock Tomb. Okay. I'm okay with this. I am... Oh, never mind. I didn't Baton Pass, so I'm not at -1 special defense. So things are looking pretty good here, because their Primarina's pretty low. And I mean, the question is, what do I do in this situation right here? They might even be faster. I think Skarmory is naturally faster than Primarina. My Aguavberry's looking really awful here, because they're probably just going to knock me out right here. Okay. Let's just click... Okay, so Body Press coming off of my +4 defense stat. But of course they do resist it. Oh wait, I'm trying to check. Yeah, +4 defense. I think that does more. I don't know. Okay, Psychic Noise. This could be a water type move. Yeah, if they have the hidden ability Liquid Voice, then that is effectively a water type move because Liquid Voice changes all of their sound-based moves into water type moves. All right, so I could go Smeargle and I could Spore them. They still have not terastallized. I'm gonna go Smeargle here. I think I'm guaranteed to Spore something. What I might have to do is Spore and then switch into Latios. Because if I Spore them, they're Primarina, and then they go into Roaring Moon, they can just start setting up Dragon Dances and kill me. I mean, I don't think they would Dragon Dance, right? I could possibly just stay in and Spore again. I don't know. There's so many decisions here. We do get the defense boost again, though, which is perfect. I'm gonna no retreat. I guess, okay, they are staying in. This is actually really, this is actually really scary. Huh. Because now, if we Baton Pass and they wake up, they can just kill my Latios. They wake up now. Oh, and they Encore. Oh no, oh no. I just lost. I think I just lost. That's crazy. That's crazy, everyone. I just lost. Because I can't, I have to go for no retreat and you can only use it once. And I can't retreat because I used no retreat. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, well, this is how the mighty fall. I mean, well, it's possible I didn't lose. I guess if they have Aqua Jet, it's pretty, there's a good chance I lost. I'm probably dead here. I'm not dead, okay. If I snap out of my Encore, I could just put them to sleep though. Oh, maybe not anymore. Yeah, that's game, everyone. Well, it's not, it's possibly not game. If they don't have Aqua Jet, but the thing is, I don't think I'm going to kill them with Thunderbolt because they're bulky. So if I'm able to somehow kill them with my Latios Thunderbolt. What? They switch? Is this the turn I'm going to snap out of Encore? Because if it is, this could be a huge mistake on their part. If it's not, though, they win. If I am still Encored here, they win. Yeah, I'm still Encored. Oh, that's tough. No, because they can just kill me, but I think more smartly, they just go for Dragon Dance. Yeah. Well, actually, if I get a speed boost here, I can just Spore them, so that could be a big mistake on their part. Because I think now I'm snapping out of Encore, right? So if I can Spore them, don't lower speed. I mean, I think I'm still slower than them, right? What speed am I at? Oh, I have 0 speed. All right, we tried. Well, here's our last ditch attempt. Unless they Dragon Dance again. If they Dragon Dance again, oh, it's gonna be insane because I should have Spored if that's the case. Okay. So our only hope is getting a speed boost here. And even then, I'm not even certain I'll outspeed them. Speed. Okay, that's game. I could Protect again. Wait, what did it lower? It doesn't matter. We're just doing our best with our little dog. I love Smeargle. Even though I lost, look how cute Smeargle is. I also got the mark that says the Smeargle the Anxious, which I think is really cute. Double Protect? Nope. Dragon Dance? Well, at that point it wouldn't matter, so I lose. Yeah, that's game. Well, yeah. All right, everyone, we tried. That really shows the weaknesses. Like I said, I mean, I can't say that enough. They knocked off my Focus Sash. I can't say that enough. Like, this team is very exploitable. And I think in the future, if I want to run something like this Smeargle Baton Pass strategy, I need to not really, because I think my team is a little too built around this strategy. So I need to like Smeargle, just find like maybe 1, maybe 2 good partners. And that's what I tried to do. I tried to have it so that Smeargle could Baton Pass to multiple different things, but the different targets were like just good Pokemon on their own, so I wasn't really trying to go way too deep into the Baton Pass strategy. Like Annihilape's one Pokemon here where I like kind of built it specifically for the baton pass strategy because I'm running max attack and max speed with an adamant nature, or sorry, almost max speed, which is something you don't typically run on Annihilape. So, you know, that's kind of something I'm trying to do with that. But everything else, like Skarmory can function by itself even without baton pass. Latios can function without baton pass. But yeah, I think I just kind of, I mean, and that's one of the reasons I'm not running Draco Meteor on Latios, is because my goal is to stay in with Latios, right? So obviously lowering my own special attack is not the way to go. So that was a crazy game. I think that was a really good game, even though I ended up losing, and you know, it ended up being kind of rough. I should have been more mindful of that Encore from Primarina. I honestly kind of forgot about that, if I'm being completely honest there. Encore is a very annoying move. Whenever I try to use it, it feels like there are times where it's really rough. Like sometimes it just doesn't line up well, but when it does, it's really, really good. So Encore is a move to watch out for these days. Latios is great. You know, I definitely am going to keep using it. It's a Pokemon that I've always really loved ever since Gen 3. And seeing that it's actually in a really good position in this meta is awesome. I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to keep using Latios. I love me some Smeargle. I'll probably use more Smeargle in the future. Maybe not Baton Pass. Maybe I'll try another Baton Pass set at some point, but the next time I use Smeargle, it'll probably just be like a support, like, you know, like Stealth Rock, stuff like that, which will be fun. And yeah, we got to show off some of the Baton Pass strategy. Even in game 2, or I'm sorry, in game 3, I still think that, you know, even though we ended up losing, there were still some good plays there for the most part. I just should have been more mindful of that Encore. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this team, and feel free to try it out for yourself. Of course, if you have suggestions to make it better, let me know for sure, because I'm happy to take those. I think that, you know, as I said earlier, this is a team I built pretty early on in the format, and I'm just now getting around to featuring it in a video. And I think there's a lot of changes I could already see myself making. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, and I'll see you next time.